Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast, Summer House Edition, Season 10, Episode 14. I'm saying it now. Fuck Bravo. Fuck Bravo. Let me tell you why. These timestamps, it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
They messed it up?
Yeah. Again, it's not that hard. And yeah, I did go back in my notes from last week and I just made sure.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Anyway, I don't really mean it. I'm just annoyed because I really spent a lot of time.
Say it with your chest.
And I watched,
say it with your chest.
Normally, I only watch this episode once, but I watched it twice just to make sure. The whole episode, just to make sure I had all the timestamps together.
Oh, don't make Alicia do extra work, Bravo. Hand us a finished product.
Just give it to, we'll do it for you if you pay us. You could pay us like $20 an episode. That's not that bad. In nowadays, the inflation, that's a steal.
To be honest, I would do it for free to get the episode early.
Maybe same. But if I'm catching this many corrections, I feel like I should be paid at this point.
What I fear is that they fired the person who would normally look at this stuff. And they're like, we'll be fine. Because my company does that. And then they're like, it'll be fine. We'll just figure it out.
Cutbacks are hitting everywhere. This
recession indicator.
Oh my God,
is that Bravo's timestamps are so messed up.
They don't even have an intern to look at the timestamps anymore. Oh my God. Okay, well, luckily it's right at the top of the episode, so we'll get it out of the way. But before we get into the episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, Meredith. So previously on Summer House, we had a boat day. Bailey and Carl are flirting, and Lindsay is well supportive of that. Wes and Ciara became best friends again. Software did a soft launch, and there was no lover boy to be seen. Amanda and Kyle went to couples therapy, and their relationship still sucks. Did I miss anything? I don't think so.
Not at all.
Okay, so it's Thursday. We're going to camp, okay? We're going to Sunrise Day Camp, where Jesse is here with Ben, Wes, Ciara, and Carl, where his job is also listed as musician, which I love that. That was a fun change I just noticed.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't noticed that this season?
No, I never look at their job titles.
People on the internet were annoyed at the start of the season about Jesse's
musician
title change.
Whatever. Well, I don't know what it used to say, unemployed, because he lost his job after that first season.
No, it was finance or something, because he was a finance guy that first season.
I know, but then he lost it. So what was it last season? I'm so curious. It doesn't matter. I don't care that much. But this is a camp for kids with cancer and their siblings / family members to go to feel normal and, not cancerous for once. And it's free. That's
amazing. Honestly, hats off to Jesse. He really does highlight amazing nonprofits and charities. And I don't know if there's ever been another cast member to do this.
I don't think to this extent. And it's obviously I don't wish cancer upon anyone, but it's nice to see a cast member who has really serious things going on and then also gives back to that community. I know everyone has serious things, but this is something that genuinely is
life or death.
Yeah, way more over the bullshit of who's dating what and who's getting divorced. This 100%. Is for real. And then after he came out of it on the other side, he said, let me give back to other kids because I know how that feels. And I think that's cool.
And it feels really genuine because he says he, donated his time and spent time with them last summer. This isn't just something he's oh, I need a storyline. Let's drag this into it. And we've seen him, participate in other supporting charities, I'll say, around cancer, which it is very authentic to, I'll say, his life, his story. And then he's highlighting different ones. And selfishly, this was a really fun scene. I enjoyed this.
And I really liked how all the camp counselors are required to wear a head covering in solidarity of the kit. That made me tear up right away.
I love that.
So
you
nice.
can tell this is run with intention and thought behind every piece of it. And so I love how immediately the cast walks up and they're here are some head coverings. Even the guys who are already wearing hats, it's here is a hat with the Sunshine Camp on it. Let's go.
Yeah. So Jesse volunteers here as a cancer survivor. Ciara and Wes, they're happy to be friends again because they're now they're playing volleyball with the kids and they can actually interact. And Ciara's mostly happy, like, because she naturally gravitates towards Wes. That's why in their first season together, she, like, became so close to him. And so now she's happy that after 2 years of, like, having to force herself not to gravitate towards him, she can finally just, like, be and be free.
It's how they are both more relaxed. And I think what's hard about this scandal is, at what point did Wes say, I don't care anymore? Like, I don't care if she's uncomfortable. I don't care if I'm uncomfortable. Like, that's what hurts, is you can see a difference in them immediately the last 2 episodes.
Can I tell you something?
What?
I'm so over this scandal. I just don't want to see Amanda or Wes, like, again. After this season, I'm like, good. I'm good.
I don't get it. I
don't need it.
Still cannot comprehend it.
I
comprehended Raquel and Sandoval easily. Like,
I understood.
I understood it. I don't get this one.
I think that's my thing, is I don't get it. And at this point, like, no one's giving me answers. So I just can't, like, be arse to care anymore. That was very British of me. But, like, I can't be arse. Like, I can't care.
I get that.
I can't. If no one's giving me answers, then I just hate you both. Like, that's 100%. It unfinalized for me.
And all the, like, little Easter eggs are weird, too. Like, Raquel had a conversation with Ariana at the end of their season where she was asking, did Ariana want to be in the relationship? That was clearly because, like, Raquel wanted to be in her place. Like, that made sense. Amanda going to bat and, like, West having these amazing moments and talking about how much Ciara matters to him. There's something in the middle that happens, and it has to be the aliens came and took their brain. There's just nothing else that makes sense to me.
I gotta be honest, there's another moment in this episode where I was like, Ciara and Wes, and I was like, oh, they fucking did this to me again.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Yep. Anyway. So everyone's making friendship bracelets at this camp. The girls at this camp are all over Carl's 6'5" ass, okay? They love a tall. I get it, girls. I get it. A nice brunette tall man.
Yep.
Yes.
He's fit. He looks good.
Absolutely. So Jesse talks to a girl that was at the camp when she was a kid with cancer, and now she is going to college in September, and Jesse's just, like, so happy to be, you know, here and volunteering and talking to people about their stories.
It's beautiful to see, too, that, so this girl was a attendee. She's now a camp counselor. Like you said, she's going off to college, but at that table was all camp counselors that had been attendees of the camp prior, which is, like, a beautiful life cycle of it. We obviously see that happening with Jesse, but it's so amazing that if or when these people are able to beat cancer, like, they want to continue to be a part of this community as well.
Yeah, it's lovely. Okay, so Jesse came into the summer with a weird feeling. He was looking for a relationship with Ciara, with anyone, honestly, but he saw Ciara and did that one. But he's just lonely, and he, like, wants a relationship to fill that void. But as we know, because therapy, that's not a good way to fill your void, which he's now figuring out. So he just wants to focus on himself, and he feels a lot better when he volunteers. It reminds him that it feels good to be, or to do good, and he's grateful for what he has.
Yeah, this was the most honest thing I've ever heard from Jesse.
Same.
And I really liked it because there is a male loneliness epidemic going on, and I think this highlights a root cause of it. Is, like, you're lonely because you're trying to find something that you need to find within yourself, and you need to find community in other ways. Like, this is it.
That, and also once you do that work on yourself, you're more attractive to other people.
Yeah.
So,
and not just on a romantic setting.
No,
like,
in general.
People who are good people attract more friends.
Good people. Yeah. And then they're like, oh my God, we're going to rock the boat. And Meredith, have you seen Dairy Girls?
No.
Oh my God. I thought they were going to do the Irish version of Rock the Boat. And I was like, oh my God, that's so fun. If you watch Dairy Girls, you know in the episode, like, there's a fight and then someone dies, and it's, like, so hilarious. And it doesn't sound hilarious, but she dies of a heart attack because she's so mad about this dance. She dies of a heart attack. It was quite hilarious. But basically, I thought they were going to do Rock the Boat, and then they didn't, which, fuck you, Bravo, for even including that. Anyway.
You're just really 2 strikes against Bravo this episode.
Well, here's where we cut. So then we go back to New York City, and then we get the timestamp Wednesday, which I found weird because in Carl's soft bar launch, that was also a Wednesday, which the producers put originally under Thursday, but then Amanda had that line where she goes, it's only Wednesday, and then I said that was a mess up, so now we're at Wednesday again, and I just want to know, what the fuck day is it?
And are the days lining up, or maybe they didn't skip a weekend or anything?
They skipped a Friday, which I thought, because now we start this summer on Saturday instead of Friday.
This weekend?
Or this weekend, right. This weekend that we see starts on a Saturday, and I don't know if they just didn't want to give us Friday. Mm-hmm.
But again, just lie to us. Why are we going back to Wednesday? If you said Thursday starting this episode, the next thing's on Thursday, then we go to Saturday.
It's honestly, if you want to throw it back to like a different day, that's fine. But don't use Wednesday when you tried to pass off softball as Thursday and then Amanda blew your cover and said it was Wednesday. I remember these things. And I don't even care that much. But I'm forced into writing these fucking timestamps for this fucking podcast. So I notice it and then it fucking makes me mad.
Knowledge is not power.
No.
Knowledge is a burden.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's now supposedly Wednesday and Bailey and Levi at first I'm like, what are we doing here? We're meeting for drinks in very pretty dresses. But no, it's 2 years of It Girl. And I think Levi's a party planner of some sort because she's
an event planner, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so it's Levi planning it, Bailey's company.
Yeah, I looked this up because I was curious about her, her It Girl show and who's been on it, maybe from the cast. I thought it was a podcast this whole time. No, she just started the podcast this spring. It's just a little TikTok series.
Yeah, I knew that, I think.
I knew she did TikTok like on the street interviews, but I the whole time thought she also already had a podcast or like a web series, which all right.
Nope.
Now she has that up and running too.
Levi, the good friend Levi she starts crying thinking about how proud she is of Bailey, which was so cute. Then all the girls are here. No boys allowed, except I did see one boy in the background. He might work there, but I did see a boy and I was like, of course. But like we got Lindsay, Ciara, Mia, we got Jordan from Martha's Vineyard DJing.
No way, I did not know.
Did you miss that?
I missed that.
Yeah, let me tell you, watching this episode twice really opens your eyes a lot. But yeah, it said Jordan and she was on the DJ and I paused it and I like zoomed in. I took a picture and zoomed in on my phone.
The support of our Martha's Vineyard crew.
Jordan from Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Bring it back.
I just was looking at everybody's outfits because I feel like the show has become more fashion girly, with Paige being added in season 3. Bailey's a fashion girly. Ciara's a fashion girly. I just like look them up and down every time they're in the scenes, and especially when the girls get together.
You have to go back, see Jordan. She was on the mixes.
Run it back for a third time. Get Jordan on
the 1-2. Yeah, shout out Jordan. I was so happy to see her. Amanda's also here, and she talks to Lindsay for a little bit, and Amanda's like, hey, you ran off last night, which would have been Carl's soft launch bar. So that would have been Tuesday. Unless this isn't really Wednesday.
This isn't Wednesday.
No, you're right. This is Thursday then.
Thursday. Which makes me think that Amanda and Ciara's thing happened on Tuesday.
I'm exhausted.
Right? Amanda and Ciara went for a walk with the dog on Tuesday. Soft bar Wednesday. It Girl Thursday. Probably in the morning on Thursday. Camp. Or maybe Friday.
Maybe camp was Friday and then they all went to the summer house Saturday.
Yeah.
But like, it's not that hard. Anyway. So Amanda's like, hey, you ran off last night. Wednesday. And then I go on a rant. Hang on, let me scroll to my notes. That's not about the timestamps. Okay, so Lindsay said she was just really rattled seeing Sharon because they haven't seen each other since Lindsay's bridal shower, which
whoa,
2+ years at this point.
I didn't know that was the last time they ever saw each other. I never really thought about it.
When would they see each other? Carl spent at least 2 years so scared Lindsay might kill him.
I know, and like it's hard because like we've seen Sharon on the show, but Lindsay wasn't at that event. You just don't know if like Carl comes and picks up some things with Sharon. I don't know when they would see each other, but like 2 years just it puts it into perspective how long it's been, but also how short it's been. Like
how Sharon maybe shouldn't have approached, but I also see her saying like it's been 2 years, but also like maybe let Lindsay approach or something.
I think when it's not your life, 2 years feels long. To Sharon, it's like it's been a while. Like we can clear the air.
True.
But to Lindsay, 2 years might seem like 5 seconds.
And every summer she has to kind of like relive it. You know what I mean? Well, it's only been one other summer, but she had to like relive it a little bit because her and Carl were in the house again.
Yeah, it's only been a year and a half since that season aired.
Yeah.
So
yes,
it's been a minute.
And it's been a very short amount of time since Lindsay, at this point, it's been maybe 6 months since she saw what Sharon said about her. If you think about it, because that was last season, and so that would have aired in like February-ish.
Really good point. Alicia on the timelines this episode.
I normally don't care about timelines either. Like, make it known.
It helps put it
care.
into perspective. I always forget that Summer House runs right into the next season, and like when they close off the reunion. So a lot of that stuff, it makes for great TV because it churned it all up. So you really get to feel like where they left off at the last season, they pick right back up.
So maybe not a great decision by Sharon.
Sharon, get away from Lindsay. I do put that on Sharon, but I understand that. I enjoy the tension that those two have.
Oh,
like,
same.
The way they spar, I love it. I'm not mad at either one of them.
Never. Okay, so yeah, seeing Sharon brought up a lot of hurt feelings for Lindsay because she was really close to Sharon for 10 years. I think like new viewers of the show, like Lindsay and Carl were best friends for a long time. And Lindsay also doesn't have a good relationship with her mom. So she has a lot of abandonment issues because her mom left her at a very young age and like did not want a relationship with her. So I think like Lindsay sees these mother figures and kind of like loves that. And then when she loses that, it like hurts even more.
Yeah, and she Sharon of course is going to build her wall up even higher to somebody who has hurt her, who was in her inner circle.
Yeah.
You've removed yourself. You are not a part of my life, but that doesn't mean we can be cool and like chit chat over Carl's soft like bar opening.
Yeah.
I'm being the bigger person by showing up. Don't test my limits.
Yeah. This was, if you've seen...
valid.
Yeah, this is very valid, for sure.
And this is Lindsay's first time, in my opinion, where she is talking about her emotions in a calm like sense.
Yeah.
She knows how to share how she's feeling. She's standing up for herself.
She's being honest.
Not diminishing other people.
Yeah.
She's really just focused on, this is how I feel, and like this was weird for me. And I think that is growth.
She's being very honest in a vulnerable way. Usually she's honest and she's like yelling at you.
Yelling at someone.
Yeah. No, this is like very vulnerable. But Lindsay's mostly hurt that Sharon told Carl to break up with her on national TV, which is like really true. That Sharon did do that. Which she makes a good point to Amanda. She's like, whatever happens between you and Kyle, your parents have their opinions, but they don't go and say it on national TV.
Well, Amanda's dad has said some things, but typically to Kyle's face.
To Kyle's face.
Is important.
Yeah, and it's mostly concerns. He doesn't look at Amanda when Kyle's not there and is like, break up with him.
Yeah.
Which Sharon did do.
Sharon did. And that actually really made me think about that. Damn, that was really tough. Very honest, very, like, they should be having those conversations. But yeah, on camera was kind of crazy.
Well, she probably found out with the rest of us. You think Carl said, my mom told me on TV to break up with you? I think maybe he said my mom does and dad don't think like we should be, well, his stepdad. They don't think they have concerns.
Lindsay, season 8 at that dinner, he told Kyle and Amanda what happened. And Amanda was like, Carl, there's literally cameras capturing all of this.
But like,
you need to tell her. And he pulled her and said, my parents have concerns.
Yeah, I think we'd need to re-listen to what we said, because if I remember, we were both kind of like, Sharon and her husband were like a little harsh about it. And she's going to see
everything they were saying.
Yes.
It's the putting it on TV is crazy
because Lindsay's going to see it.
Not telling her.
Yeah, Lindsay's going to see it, and Carl did not do a great job at communicating what was said.
Nope. And that's why she was blindsided. Is like, Carl was right in calling off that wedding, but Lindsay had no idea what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Okay, anyway, so Lindsay thinks like Carl acts like nothing happens, and she's given Carl plenty of times to like have a real vulnerable situation or like conversation, which I don't know, but also Carl wouldn't take her up on it, and I know that for a fact.
Okay, but I also don't think Lindsay is very approachable in the past. Is like Lindsay immediately when she sees Carl like chirps at him, which that man already struggles with confrontation, but that man will not go sit down with you for a one-on-one, given your demeanor in his past interactions with you.
Even Amanda said, like, it's people like you and Kyle, and we know Carl has an issue with alphas.
Yes.
I don't think Lindsay was ever, like, calmly like, hey, do you want to have a conversation? I think she was like, me not biting his head off, he can approach me about a conversation.
100%.
And
like,
he's not going to do that.
Know that you're open to that. Like,
He's
that's not on
it.
him to read your mind. That's what you want. If you want that, you should make that happen.
Yeah,
Carl just wants to move on and be cordial, and that's what he's doing.
And so Lindsay's going to never let him have a moment of peace if she's in the room. He's going to be concerned a little always.
Yeah. Because there's no way she's told him this since filming. So Carl is learning this probably a few weeks ago when he got the final tapes before the reunion. And I wonder if he brings this up at the reunion.
He does. There's no way. That guy? No way.
Well, I wonder if Andy brings this up at the reunion. Like, would you guys ever have a one-on-one? And Carl would probably be like, yeah, I'd be open. But again, Paul would be in Lindsay's court to, like, make that happen because Carl is not going to do
Lindsay
that.
would be like, you need to call me and then show up with flowers and we'll see what happens. And he's like, I don't.
Oh, God.
Ugh. Okay, but Lindsay's just tired of being treated like the villain and them always seeming like the victim. Which, in a sense, first of all, we always villainize women. So let's start there. Second of all, we always villainize strong women. Lindsay is a very strong woman. And I get what she's saying in the sense of, like, Carl's a little like, I did it and it's right. I'm not saying Carl was wrong for calling off the wedding, but he is a softer person.
How he approaches it.
He does come across more as like someone who needs protecting or someone to speak on his behalf and stuff like that. Whereas Lindsay, no one will ever do that because she doesn't need it, but it doesn't mean that wouldn't be nice once in a while. And she just doesn't want to be seen as this like harsh villain. In a way.
Yeah. And she has. I mean, she's so right here that anything she does immediately comes off as aggressive and she's on the attack. And Carl gets infantilized.
Yeah. Everyone's like, poor Carl. Not me. I'm always Team Lindsay.
Carl's a mess. Oh, no. Which, like, I do love it against everybody else. But Lindsay, you know what? You're calling it out. And I'm noticing. I'm Team Lindsay these days.
I was pro Carl being a mess. I don't care. And then that got him and Lindsay an Uber Eats deal. So he said, you know what? I got to pay her back for this. And then the whole commercial was just Lindsay being like, ew, you're a mess, which was even better. Anyway, so now it's Saturday, August 30th, 12:29 p.m. So we missed Friday. I don't know where we were Friday.
Maybe
here's Saturday.
Who knows?
Ciara is dressed as the Lorax. Why? I don't know, but she is.
It's Ciara. Anytime she's in a costume, I'm eating it up.
At 12:45 p.m., she's stretching, she's getting her water guns ready, and then Mia and Lindsay get here. Mia opens the door, immediately gets, like, shot at, and she's like, what? What's happening? And she goes back outside, and Lindsay, so funny, goes, what, is it a bug? You just have no idea. And so they come inside, and Ciara's like, are you on my team? And they're like, yeah. So now, well, Lindsay also was like, I'm a sharpshooter. I was an ROTC, which I'll never forget.
Anytime Lindsay mentions ROTC, I'm in.
I love it. So they're all on a team. So at 12:56, KJ and Dara approach the door, and immediately, as soon as KJ opens it, he gets hit. He grabs a weapon. We do a little water fight, and then we're like, okay, we got to ambush the next people that come.
They were the most fun because they immediately participated. They didn't shut that door or, like, run away.
He opened it. He saw choose your weapon, and he said, bet.
Yeah.
So at 1:03 p.m., Levi, Bailey, and some of the boys get here. So it's got to be a double ambush because we weren't prepared for boys and girls. And so, yeah, as soon as they open the door, everyone's hit. Levi got hit straight away, that poor girl. KJ comes outside, hits everyone. You can't hide from him.
I liked this one. This group ran away, and they said, no, we will chase you.
Yeah. No problems. So then they all come back inside and they're preparing, and there's one car left, and it's Kyle, Amanda, and Ben. And so that car pulls up, Amanda gets out, and Bailey's like, don't shoot, she's wearing suede. And so
that's a girl's girl.
Amanda comes in immediately. She's like, oh my God, what is this? And she has her Uber Eats bag. She's like, I'm just going to go to the kitchen. And she says how everything's really wet. I was like,
it's like, of course.
A buzzkill.
We have fucking water guns in the house.
A buzzkill.
Yeah, it's going to be wet everywhere.
She's just, my dad has this saying, he calls people who complain a lot, like, about nothing, like a fuss pot. Like, you're just fussy about everything.
Yeah, I'm here for complaining, but, like, let's make it a dialogue and fun, and let's kiki about it. She just wants to be Debbie Downer immediately.
There's a difference between a complainer and a fuss pot. And a fuss pot is just like, darn a suitcases outside and it's wet everywhere. And I have my Uber Eats bag. And it's like, what are you even complaining about? You didn't even get hit. What are we talking about?
She just wants to fuss so much. She's alone in the kitchen doing this. She's speaking to no one.
Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. We're about to ambush.
Yeah, shut up. And I immediately remembered, oh, how fun last weekend was when you weren't here.
In there. Yeah, Kyle had a great time. So then Kyle and Ben open the door. They get hit. They get drenched. And everyone's like, that was so much fun. It's time for drinks. It's time for all of our Uber Eats bags to come in. And then Carl makes an announcement. He's like, guess what? Today's National Beach Day, so we're going to the #1 beach in the U.S. Is that accurate? I don't know. Carl just says whatever. But then Lindsay's like, Carl, I thought you were going to say it's our 2-year anniversary of their breakup.
Never let it die.
Lindsay's so good. And she shot him with the water gun when she said that. This man will never know peace.
It's crazy that they did not film Labor Day weekend that year, so we will always get Lindsay and Carl's breakup.
Yep. Which I'm so thankful for because it's a national holiday for us all.
No, and I love that it's a bit now because I think this is another thing that adds to them being kind of friendly. Is like, we can joke about it. We're on the other side.
If you think about it, he talks, right? He makes a big announcement. She directly talks to him, which is a big step because she did ignore him for a while. And then she shot him with a water gun, so she's being playful. And then they have a bit together. And Carl's like, thank God. We have a bit. This is all I want in life.
I love it. I love it.
And then Lindsay's like, I also have an announcement. I'm hosting dinner tonight. And everyone's like, Freedom Dinner round 2. I love Freedom Dinner. I'm here for it.
Here's the thing. Even if this cast, like, obviously the OGs we think are moving out, I need the newbies to keep up Freedom Dinner, even though they weren't a part of it in its inception. Yeah. But, like, carry the torch. We start with 4th of July. We always end with the Freedom Dinner at the end of summer.
As a way for Bravo to apologize for me for the timestamps, Meredith, I think they should bring us out on Freedom Dinner, and we show up with the sandwiches, and we wish everyone happy Freedom Dinner, and then we leave really quick, but we do a little cameo to keep it going. And then we could even teach them about the history of Freedom Dinner for those who may not know.
You gotta educate the youth.
For those who might not know. That's what I'm saying. So we bring a little, like, presentation. Everyone sits down before they get a sandwich. We have to give our presentation, and then we leave. And they enjoy Freedom Dinner. That's just an idea. If they do that and don't cast us, I'm going to be pissed. It's time to get ready. We're back for the last weekend. The boys, they're all doing mustaches. And then they do boy summer, which I'm adamantly against. But it was a fun bit, but I'm against it, you know?
This is why we can't have men get together. You either get mustaches and annoying things, or you have war, and both are bad.
Both are terrible. KJ, though, he loves this bond and, like, this sense of community because he's never been one of the boys, and now he's one of the boys just by being himself. And that was really cute.
I know, and it kind of pissed me off because I went from being mad at the boys to, okay, fine, I'll let you have it. Because KJ's happy, I'll let you have it.
That's what I said this one time. This one time. As long as it's not a group of white men, I guess, then
that's true.
This one time, I'll allow it.
Yeah, but there's one person of color here. Let's spice it up if we get new people in the show.
It's only allowed once, so you better add more so we can allow it. So now it's 2:20 p.m. We look really good to go to the beach, which, may I just say, if I'm going to the beach, my hair is getting wet. I don't know why we're curling our hair and doing our makeup.
No, I know, because they weren't going just to, like, have a bonfire and look cute, because sometimes they do that, where they have those little tables, whatever.
I thought that for a second.
We were in swimsuits.
We were tanning, which I don't like putting face makeup on before I'm in the sun to tan. Right?
I don't know. I mean, this is, maybe that's a culture difference, because we're Midwesterners who are just jumping straight in.
And why aren't we at Lake of the Ozarks then on this new show? We could bring it real Midwestern culture.
No, please don't bring that to me, Bravo. You're going to piss me off.
They would all be, like, getting ready to go out, and we're like, go out. There's a fire pit in the back. What are you talking about?
To go out, you have to board your jet ski and scoot on to a swim-up bar.
Yeah, leave your heels at home, please. Okay, so we go off to the beach. There's one car I don't know the car. It doesn't matter. But in one car, we got like Ciara and Ben and Lindsay and Wes. And they're all like, oh, Amanda's in like really good spirits. But Wes is like, is she? Because she walked in complaining, which I was like, that's the least attractive quality in a person. Why are you dating her? But
no, I was like, oh, I wonder if she's a little Debbie Downer in his life now. I wonder how happy he is. I mean, she is, actually. We saw at the Yankees-Kansas City Royals game.
Sit down.
She was like, act like you like me.
She said, sit down to him. That was the craziest shit. Sit down. No, I won't.
She's your problem now.
So Ciara met up with Amanda this past week, and Amanda feels anxious, she tells the car, but only when, like, Kyle's home. So she's thinking they need space apart. And Lindsay's like, listen, I agree with your statement, but if they separate, it doesn't look good. You know what I mean? And Lindsay thinks Amanda deserves better, like more than she's been given, but also she's known Kyle for like such a long time and they're such good friends. And like Kyle also has feelings. So Lindsay's like, I just want to like help them and fix it. Which I get.
Which I think is admirable, but I think it's weird when people get super involved in other people's relationships and like their decisions. And I also think, yes, a separation with a married couple would be concerning to me. However, because these two have lived, worked together,
spent summers together.
Yeah, was right across the hall from their apartment. I do think space would help. And they live in New York City where they could still walk to each other. They're not moving a state apart. This is just truly like, hey, I needed a new bedroom so we can maybe like have our own time.
I agree. I will say this relationship has always been a house relationship because they truly do make it everyone's fucking business. From the first summer when Amanda was a booty call to the summer he wrote a 17-page email. Like, Lindsay's been there for all of it, okay? Like, at this point, she's in this relationship.
That's a good point. They really triangulated the whole house. You're right.
At this point, every weekend, we have to now hear about how Kyle and Amanda fight again and how they're miserable again. We've already been dealing with that all this summer. And Lindsay's like, it's been 10 summers at this point. I'm going to step in. I was like, yeah.
Hand me the mic.
They're
I've been a participant this entire time. Now I'm an active person in this.
Lindsay should go to therapy with them and be like, let me tell you what actually happens.
I actually like that idea.
Lindsay and Carl just both are like, we'll do a separate session without you. And that's the only time Lindsay and Carl are on the same team, is to break these two up.
They go in to the therapist and they do like a 20-minute session before Kyle and Amanda show up to prep the therapist of like what actually went down the week prior.
You know, it'd be great if they stayed in the room with Kyle and Amanda, but they only spoke when one of them told a lie. So if Kyle was like...
It's a one-way mirror and they buzz in and they're like,
lie.
Incorrect.
The therapist has a headpiece and Lindsay's just like, that was a lie. And Carl, that was a lie.
Andy at a reunion with his headset, and he's like, the control room is saying that's a lie.
I'm pro that, you know? Get involved in their relationship. They're making it everyone's business at this point.
You know what? I'm on board now.
Like, after 10 years, I'm saying something. You can't shut me up. So it's 3:17 p.m. We're at the beach. Carl and Lindsay, we talk about how they're celebrating 2 years of freedom. Life is good. Carl's free. Wes has a new best friend in Ciara. Wes is like, yeah, it's cool, me and Ciara are friends again, but everyone's making a big deal out of it. And I was like, because it's the house deal. It was the house. If we talk about it at a reunion, it's the house deal at that point.
You're right. But it's adding pressure. I can see him like slowly in a boiling pot of water. And even if the Amanda stuff didn't happen, given the Amanda stuff happened and without it, I feel bad for him for this stuff. Like, this is stressful. That we know that man is skittish.
He doesn't like being held to any kind of standard, a friend standard, a good housemate standard.
He makes decisions or understand things at a slower pace, and so the house moving faster or like making decisions or being excited about something, he doesn't know what he's feeling yet. So it's like stressful because he hasn't processed that yet, and he needs to get better at that. But like, I have been that person where I'm like, I don't even know what I'm feeling, and you're asking me a million questions about it, and you want to talk about it. Like, I don't know where I'm at.
Then don't jump in. But you also wouldn't jump into a relationship right off the bat and then like make it a big thing.
This is just
and
a friendship.
Yeah, but it didn't start that way. And it's only a big deal because of what happened. This friendship wouldn't be a big deal if...
This conversation isn't the stressful one. It's that Sabrina invited them to drink earlier this week.
And also, my algorithm is now why I shouldn't hate Sabrina. I don't hate her. I don't hate her. I get she's whimsical. Her energy is crazy to me. And I can't have it.
Okay. I'm this close to making a video about it because I feel like I need to defend myself because people are like, because she's a person of color, people hate on her. No, I don't. I find it weird how she approaches people that she barely knows with a lot of information because I'm someone who collects information. I'm just like Sabrina. I know everything, but I don't go up to you and tell you I know everything.
It was weird at the house. First of all, Ben, it was weird for you to bring her at this house party as your girlfriend when we all thought you guys weren't dating.
That I was protecting her on.
Yeah. But then it was weird for her to like go up to Amanda and be like, I know I've just met you, but I am hoping for the best. I've heard your marriage is in shambles. Weird for her to go up to Ciara and be like, I'm obsessed with you. I love you. She is a fangirl. And that's okay, but it's weird to watch.
It's not how I move through life, and so, like, to be honest, when things are different, I'm gonna call it weird because I don't like it. I don't like it. I wouldn't like if somebody did that to me. I wouldn't like doing it to someone else.
There's something weird. I'm being like single white female, and like I don't like it. You're stalking me. I like Dara. That's also a person of color, and I don't have a problem. And it's not that Sabrina's whimsical. She's very whimsical, and that's lovely
fine.
and
I
stuff.
love that for her.
It's
I
fine.
find it charming in her.
There's just the way she comes at you with info,
it's the information.
It's the quickness that she's like, and now we're best friends and now we'll hang out all the time and Ciara and I are going to touch and hold hands as soon as I get to the house and then I'm going to invite her to drinks with Wes so we can double date. And it's like, oh, we just met 5 minutes ago.
Tell them this information. XYZ person, I know this about you. It's happening very fast.
You still
with
can't.
No explanation.
No.
Because if it was explained to me on the show too, of why she knows so much information, or that she has been hanging out with these people prior, it would be easier for me to be like, oh, this makes sense. They have spent a lot of time together. It's like the KJ and Dara. We know that they've spent a lot of time together, and so their quickness does make more sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, let's get into Jesse and Ben talking, right? Sabrina Bell is the best. There's no spat. Sabrina's just chill, wears her heart on her sleeve. That's great for Ben because that's a lot of reassurance for him. He still hasn't told her I love you, which to me, Sabrina girl, I know you're still with him and I'm sure he said it at this point in time, but like, Sabrina girl, hold him to that.
Well, what I find interesting is you have not told this person you love them, but you're going to bring them home for Christmas, and you have told your family and this girl that the next person you bring home is someone special, quote unquote. That doesn't align with the, like, I can't say I love you. Like, do you love her?
Well, let's also talk, before he brought her to Lindsay's housewarming party, he had a conversation with Ciara where he was like, I couldn't tell I loved her and then I lost her. And she's like, do you love her? And he was like, I gotta win her back. That basically means you love her. So then what did you say to win her back? Let's try again. I really like, I would have been like,
yeah.
Hello.
Because if she was already saying I love you, okay, if I'm Sabrina and a man will not say he loves me and we were like at the point where like, all right, you either shit or get off the pot.
He breaks up with you for that reason.
Yeah, when you come calling again, you better say, I have realized I love you so much, I was just scared. Like, that's the only answer for us to start this up again.
Which makes me think this relationship is like totally, they didn't actually break up. That was just...
But then I also don't get this storyline. This makes him look like a fucking idiot.
I think this is like Ben's story. He comes in single. That's what the producers want. But he's like on the side dating Sabrina, right? He doesn't do much. He maybe like, he's like, I'm going to make out just for like the show, for the games. Because we don't see him like really kiss anyone outside of that game with Bailey.
Or even like talk about like talking to someone at a bar the night before.
Yeah, we don't see that. And then his storyline is he's not with Sabrina because he couldn't say I love you. But then he's like, oh, I really miss her. And I do love her, but I'm not going to tell her. And now I'm going to bring her around. And now I'm like rekindling this thing.
Soft
and like,
launching. They're trying to soft launch this relationship, but it's also like hard launching it because it's so serious while they're not serious. That's what I don't get. That like
No, I think they are serious.
Packaging of it.
I think he does. He tells her.
They're trying to like soft launch that they're like introducing her. And she's coming back into his life.
Yeah.
But like the conversations they're having aren't matching the pacing that they're saying that they're at.
Yeah. Cameras go down. He tells her he loves her all the time. There's no doubt in my mind. For his storyline, I think he's like,
he has to be commitment.
Oh yeah, I don't love her yet, but I'm working on it. That's my storyline with Sabrina. Because if he just said I love you, who cares about the two of them then? They're in love and we can go off.
I can see that because at the same time, if they are in the I love you stage and they're doing great and she is going to Australia for Christmas and all these things, she's at a battle of publicly, I'm not really being claimed, but I want to be. So that's where the forcing of the did you tell him about Christmas comes up, is like she's trying to force the hand.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, I get it. Like, no shade to her on that. Like, she wants people to know the status of their actual relationship.
Yeah.
But the storyline of their relationship is vastly different. And so it's these competing themes of she wants to share the great news of her love life with, I'm going to call them their friends, but that isn't what is actually being filmed.
That's what I think. And then I think it was a good way to get Ben on the show, everyone to love Ben, and then next summer he can bring Sabrina around. That's what I think.
I don't think they need to be on this show.
Well, yes, but hypothetically, you're like, I want to do multiple seasons.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Because, like, if there's only one slot for him and they really want guys, she's not coming onto the show. So, like,
they want single. They want single guys. That's my hypothesis.
It's kind of smart, but they just like played the storyline of their relationship
so weird.
Wrong.
And now people question Sabrina because of the way he played this. So, whatever. Okay, so then Ben tells us that his dad is a born-again Christian, which,
no.
What's up, guy?
I'm like surprised because Australia is not known to be super like religious, and so it's always shocking to me.
Is it not?
It's not like the U.S. or anything. Like the U.S. is very ingrained in religion.
We're a Handmaid's Tale at this point, so
like whenever I hear about like born again Christians or like kind of crazy Christians, I'm like, oh, interesting. You are a needle in a haystack.
Well, Ben's dad always told him that no matter what, he would always love Ben. And then in high school, there was an indiscretion with Ben's girlfriend, and his dad didn't talk to him for years, which I was like, Ben had sex, unmarried. That's what that indiscretion is.
No, I'm not joking. That is lunatic behavior from the parent.
Oh, 100%. Yes. I mean, as people who we've heard this story 1,000 times. Yeah, that's crazy shit.
I also think his parents had to be divorced because, like, you can't live in the same household as someone and truly ignore them for that long.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know how they do it in Australia, how these born-again Christians running about. Usually,
his dad's just, like, living on a compound.
In the U.S., they'd kick you out of their home, basically. But I don't know about Australia.
Really good point.
I would love to know what this indiscretion was. Did you just have sex? Did you get her pregnant? What happened?
It sounds like he was like honest with his dad. But the problem is his dad beat and switched him. I mean, like I'll forgive you,
love you,
whatever. And then it's like, no, that was a test.
Be more like my dad, who told me at 12 if I ever got pregnant before I got a college degree, he would honestly consider killing me. And I went, great.
Oh my God. See, my dad said, do not get married a virgin. Come on.
Oh, opposites. My dad was just like, he was like, do whatever, don't get pregnant. He was like, you have to get that college degree if it's the last thing you do. So then growing up, I was like very scared of being pregnant. I knew he wouldn't actually kill me, but he's like, it would make me so mad I would see red. And I'm like, no, I get it.
My parent or my mom instilled in my little nieces that you have to have a college degree to get pregnant. Like, not happening
prior. Mm-hmm. What happens when they have sex and they find out that's not true?
No, like, you cannot be a mom unless you, like, can support yourself. They, like, really talked about, like, how important it is to be self-sufficient.
Oh, yes.
Because my sister got pregnant before she got married, so, like, we couldn't use the marriage thing.
Oh, no, I love that. Okay. Calling him out.
You have to be an adult once you graduate college and can support yourself. You are an adult. You are ready for children.
I love that most of our podcast episode has not even been about this fucking show. Yeah. Okay, so Jesse, he was pumped with Ben. He was like, I was pumped to be one of the guys with you, but I'm happy to lose you to Sabrina. And Ben says, she loves you too. And Jesse goes, yeah, I could feel it. And I went, It's because she texts him all the time, probably.
Yep. Jesse's like, cool. You guys are a package deal. I will roll with it.
Well, Jesse was like, I got invited to drinks one time, and I didn't know Sabrina was in charge of our summer house.
We're besties now.
So then we go to Mia and Amanda. They have a little chat. Amanda's weekend alone was the best. She was so happy her husband was like basically gone, and she didn't have to text him and stuff. And Amanda asks Mia about drinks after soft bar. And I was like, oh, other people were there? Or they like were not there? We're shady on the details. But Amanda didn't go. And Mia's like, you really left me there. And Amanda's like, well, it's weird to like plan an intimate gathering for Wes and Ciara to like go on a date.
But Amanda felt very like, I wasn't invited personally, so like I can't show up. And I'm like, the cast is getting drinks. It's not weird to just go to an after party if you're told about it at the event.
I don't think she wanted to.
No, I agree. But she's like very like, poor me, I didn't get the text.
No, I took that as where she like people are like, you need to come, and she's like, oh, I didn't get invited. I can't.
Interesting.
I took it as like, no.
She's being. I just see a lot of stuff on the internet.
She gets weird
being, like, victim
later
energy. Yeah,
I see it in a lot of other places. I didn't think this was one of them. As someone who hasn't seen anything on this episode, because I worked all day and had no time, I really genuinely thought someone would be like, when Jessie was like, you gotta come, and she's like, oh, I didn't get invited.
Like, it's an excuse to
it's like when you're like, oh, I got dogs. I can't. Yeah, I think that was it. But Amanda says, even if Wes and Ciara get back together, which would make Amanda the happiest person in the whole entire world, he needs to be all the way in. And Amanda's just skeptical of Wes. Mia's concern is making sure Wes doesn't find his way back in and then decide he wants back out. And Amanda's like, yeah, Ciara's special and incredible, and you got to treat her differently than any other person in the world, and I can't trust anyone with Ciara's heart, and Amanda would die for Ciara. The way she would cut Wes off for Ciara is no problem. And I just think it's fun that the person you couldn't trust with Ciara's heart was yourself. That was fun.
Yeah, like clearly no one is trustworthy. Like, it's so performative what she's saying. I would die for her. Like, I don't trust anyone with her. Because clearly that meant nothing to you. I don't say that about my friends. Like, I don't make these grand statements because, like, I find it weird in general to be like, I would take a bullet for you. I'm going to be so real. I'm not taking a bullet for any of you guys. I'm not diving in front of a gunman and being like, take me down, not her. I'm terrified of that shit. I'm running away.
I'm not going to say for my friends. No offense to anyone listening. I would consider for my family. I'd be like, give me a second to think about it.
I'm not doing it for anybody. I don't have any kids, so like maybe it'll change with kids. Maybe it would change with like a life partner. I feel like is the love of my. No, even that.
No,
I'm not taking a bullet for you.
No,
maybe
not a life partner.
Maybe my nieces.
Maybe a child.
I would do it for my nieces and nephew because like you're a child. Like I want you to have a life. I've lived my life, but like. I'm sorry, Alicia. I'm not taking a bullet for you.
I don't want. In what situation am I getting a bullet pointed at me? Absolutely not. First of all,
I'm there and can like be like, choose me.
First of all, I'd be like, Meredith, shut the fuck up. Second of all, put down your gun, sir. What are we doing here? Me?
It just is. It's weird to say this. I just feel like she's doing the most to involve herself, as everybody is, in this, like, friendship. And we're, like, taking it from 0 to 100 as if Ciara's picking out her wedding dress right now. And she's like, I don't trust him yet.
I'm really trying to watch this season with, like, as little of people being on the internet being like, this is what she actually meant. I really don't think Amanda and Wes hooked up in the summer.
No, I don't either.
I can't tell you when exactly I think they hook up, but I don't think they hooked up in the summer. I do think at this point, Amanda has slight feelings for Wes because of the way he's like stood up for her and like shown her kindness that she hasn't gotten from a man in a very long time. And I think that's why she's kind of trying. I really don't think this is like a way to be like, oh, I'm trying to hide what I'm going to do to Ciara in the future. I think it's a way for her to be like,
I think it's unconscious.
I think she's trying to unconsciously like convince herself that Ciara and Wes are a thing, and like we have to protect Ciara because Wes is bad, and like we shouldn't like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's trying to be like Wes is the enemy because she has like feelings she doesn't even realize yet.
And I think she's trying to be so performative in her friendship with Ciara to prove to herself that these feelings, or even if a slight thought does come through about like, ooh, Wes looks good, it's not happening. She's like doubling down in her friendship with Ciara to be like, no,
she
like,
can't.
that's not happening. I care so much about Ciara. I would never.
Yeah, she can't date Wes, so she has to be like, I have to stand by Ciara. That's the only way, is to love Ciara more than Wes, in a way.
She's like channeling it all into that, and it's just weird.
I do think it's very I don't think she knows she's doing it at this point.
I don't think so either.
But it's strange to watch.
I think this is when she might start thinking about it because of like some of her actions throughout the rest of this episode. But I don't think she's truly acknowledging it.
Agreed.
Or willing. I think she's still trying to stuff it down.
Agreed. Or she's like, they're not real feelings. You know, like, I'm just in this house.
I just care about him so much as a friend. That's what this is.
Kyle and I are going to maybe work it out in therapy. Like, maybe we'll separate and I'll figure it out. Yeah, I think she has no idea. So then it's 5:44 p.m. We're still at the beach. Kyle and Ciara do a little talk about how Kyle and Amanda went to couples therapy, and then Ciara saw Amanda. Kyle feels like they're in a better place. They both got to put in the work, though. And Ciara's like, hey, so when I talked to Amanda, I floated this idea of like maybe physically separating, and just an idea I want to float by you. And Kyle was like, what did Amanda say? Was she receptive? And Ciara's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, Kyle's going to hate that. And he did.
This was a bomb because clearly Amanda hasn't talked to him about it. And I don't think she necessarily should yet, but it's just this like weird vibe of like, again, the house is so involved that like we're having all these discussions with each party individually. And then it's like, at what point are they having these conversations together?
Well,
like, this is just awkward.
And I don't think Amanda had to tell Kyle. But, like, I think it would have been better coming from Amanda than Ciara. And I don't blame Ciara because it's a show. But, like...
And you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. But you could tell Kyle was, like, really hurt about this.
He was so taken off guard.
He was, like, really shocked. And he's kind of like...
This made me sad for him.
Well, he's like, everyone's just discussing this and, like, coming up with decisions. And it's not a light decision. It's like, we're going to physically separate as a married couple.
No, and this is different than people saying, like, oh, they had a fight and we're all discussing it. This is like... This is a line in the sand we're all discussing, and he feels like everybody is making this decision about his life without him.
Yeah.
And this is a really scary decision to make.
I agree.
Like, he does not treat her well, but I do think he wants to be in this marriage, and he, like, wants to try to fix it, even though if he isn't going to do the steps to actually fix it and, like, maintain this, I don't think he's mentally thought about this. And this is stereotypical for like heterosexual relationships that like, oh, the divorce came out of nowhere. Kyle is still in the mindset that like, oh, whatever about problems. Amanda is done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary if anything. And when his face fell when Ciara said this, I knew it was just like, that has to be the worst feeling in the world. Like terrible. Anyway, it's time to go. It's 6:35 p.m. We're back at the house. Dara, so real. She's like, I need 15 minutes of horizontal time. Ugh, same, girl. I love it. Levi had no towels in her shower, and Bailey saw her vagina. That was fun.
People say that, like, production hates her because, like, why would you put this in?
I thought that was funny. I thought it was a cute little...
I did too. But it's like, this is the most we've seen of Levi.
Yeah, it was.
Both, like, physically and storyline.
Yep. So the chef is here for Lindsay's second annual Freedom Dinner. West is going to try and make sure his hair doesn't suck because Ciara's told him twice now that it sucks at the table. And Lindsay talks with this chef. It's Chef Frank, who has a very heavy East Coast New York accent. But he's been cooking for 20 plus years. He was either going to be a chef or a DJ. And Lindsay's like, we have one of those. And then in walks Kyle, the house DJ. And Lindsay's like, chef, you made the right decision because DJ is just not it. And Kyle's kind of like, damn,
like,
catching strays. But again, I'm like, only Lindsay could kind of joke like that with him.
100%. But Kyle's fragile, and I'm not going to infantilize him, but he's like, what is wrong with, why am I DJ thing now?
He got hit with it. Yeah, pretty hard. So Bailey's talking to Levi. She's like, I don't know my vibe with Carl, right? So Bailey has shown interest in some light flirting, and they have some flirty texts, which, I wrote down,
doing well.
and I got one of the blurred ones, just in case. So there was one text chain where Carl says, "That was fun. Glad we could hang out outside the house." And Bailey says, "So cute. Thank you for hanging with me and for our half-date hang." And Carl says, "Half-date hang was 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Thanks for being honest and real." And Bailey said, "Haha, if you want a real date, you know where to find me, of course, always."
I like it.
That,
She's doing
she
good.
set it up. And then the second date was Carl, and this was the weekend that Bailey wasn't at the house. And he says, "Miss you, Bailey. Hope you are enjoying the rest of your recharge." And Bailey put 2 hearts and said, "That warmed my heart." And then the next morning, this was blurred out, but Carl said, "Good morning, Bailey. I had a tougher day, not gonna lie, but nothing crazy. Was just in my head a lot. I got through it and had a fun night after all," and then it got cut off. So that was fun.
Interesting.
He's really bearing his soul. But maybe it's just flirty texting, like, we don't know. So
yeah.
everyone starts coming to the kitchen. Jesse spills martinis all over himself. He smells rancid now.
That's brutal.
And then KJ, Mia, and Ciara have a little moment in Ciara and Mia's room because KJ's got Ciara's grill.
I was so happy to see this.
And they wear their grills to dinner, which I don't know
Love
if you
it.
can eat in a grill. I don't know much about grills, but
I would think you might want to take it out.
is it like a retainer? But that's gross. That's like gross to take it out. But it goes around your teeth. It doesn't like cover it usually, I think.
No, but like little bits and bobs getting in there. I would think it's like a retainer.
We've all had braces. I get it. Yeah. Okay, so Carl tells Bailey that she looks great. Best outfit of the summer. And Bailey's like, "Okay, so you like a modest look because this is the least slutty thing I own." And Carl's like, "Yes, but also your dress at Soft Bar was great." And Bailey's like, "Oh my God, that was see-through." And he's like, "I know, I saw your ass." And she's like, "I did that on purpose." And they were so funny when Carl was like, did you mean for everyone to see your ass?" She's like, "Yeah, I wanted you to see my ass. Not you, but like you, but also you, and you as in everyone, because you're everyone you." And I was like, these two are so stupid. I love them.
I love their awkward flirting.
I do.
It's just right on par because
it's perfect.
Like obviously Bailey is like she's like, no, not you, but like also you, but but she's not insecure about that exchange. She's like, "I'm clarifying, but then also I do want you."
And Carl's like, "I'm happy I saw your ass." And she's like,
Carl's
"Great.
Like, "Yes, more ass."
Yes, me. See, but also please wear your Amish style too. I love that.
And have you heard I really like tan lines? Like
Ew. Every summer, there's at least one TikTok I get of a girl with tan lines going, "I'm Carl's type." And every summer, I hate it. It's the worst thing I've ever learned about him. It's worse than his green slides. Like,
I agree.
Tan.
Because, like, every time I see a tan line, it comes into my mind and it ruins my life.
It was worse how it came up, how the boys are, like, talking about porn and what's hot, and Carl goes,
"Yes.
Tan lines." And we all went, "Oh, you know, come on." Anyway. Oh, and everyone sees Ciara and KJ's grills. And then Wes gets a little close up. He even comes up and he's like, "Can I see it?" So it's now dinner time. So 1 year ago, 7 years ago, Lindsay hosted a freedom dinner, and she's still free. But this is the Lost Supper. I refuse. This is freedom dinner. I don't care. But there's a game for the freedom dinner Lost Supper.
People love a fucking game to stir shit up.
So the game is everyone goes around and talks about something they lost recently and something they found recently. For example, if you don't get the rules of the game, here it is. Carl lost Lindsay but found a bunch of thirsty girls in his DMs.
That was good.
Cackled out loud. My neighbors heard me. It was so good.
Oh my God.
So Lindsay will go first. She lost all timelines, but she found her dream girl, baby Gemma. Bailey, she lost a bad relationship, left that at Sweet Green, but found her joy in her ability to laugh and date and flirt and make out. And everyone's like, "Well, you should make out with Carl." And then they do make out and we all yell, "Freedom!"
Oh my God. The fact that Lindsay is sitting there going, "Kiss, kiss, kiss."
And everything. Then after Carl, like they're going around still, but Carl's like, "Is your heart still racing?" And Bailey's like, "My heart wasn't racing." And he goes, Mine still is." And she goes, "Why? Because you just made out in front of your ex-fiance?" That awesome.
My God.
Awesome.
You can't write this shit.
No.
This is what makes Summer House amazing.
So good. And also, I love that Lindsay and Bailey are, like, friends, because when you see, like, how the group breaks out, she's always with Levi and Bailey, and I just know she's like, please date Carl so he'll stop being so obsessed with me. Or some shit.
It just shows how much Lindsay does know him, and, like, in her core, she can't hate him, because if she hated him, she would not set him up with someone she likes so much.
I know. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so West lost his voice, but found the ability to speak up, and he found a friendship/relationship that was lost that means the world to him. Damn, the way I went, I'm shipping them again. Ugh.
But I don't like how he says friendship/relationship, because, like, that
He's
to me leaves the door open.
Mm-hmm. He's leading it on. If you're not serious.
Adding to this, you were not responsible for that, like, weird drinks after soft bar, but you're responsible for this.
Do you think they've kissed since their friendship?
No.
Okay.
I think that's just not Ciara's vibe to, like, dive into.
No, you're right.
Like
you're
that.
right. No, you're right. Okay, so KJ shares that he lost a brother when he was a kid, and it made him really rough.
Wow.
It was very rough. I know, we really didn't, like, stop on this for very long.
because he's talked about his two sisters, but never a brother.
Yeah, so he lost his brother right before his brother turned 18. But again, we don't have a lot of details. But anyway, that made it really rough for KJ to open up with men. But this summer, he found his brotherhood. Oh
my God. KJ just has so much depth to him that is very enjoyable to watch too. I think sometimes, like, normal life or, like, sad topics or something, like, don't translate well on a TV screen. He is fascinating.
Yeah, he has it. Ciara lost the weight of having to hate or dislike someone she genuinely loved the most. And she found the bars. Which I'll give it to her. I'm a big hater sometimes, but I'll give her that.
You are, and she did. She really showed up and showed out. And Kyle's like, only took 5 years.
Yeah. To be clear, not a hater of Ciara. I'm a hater of anyone in the summer house who doesn't go to the bars.
Yes.
Okay, so then they all, like, kind of take a moment, and, like, Ciara gets up and, like, hugs West for, like, what he said. Little kiss on the cheek.
She kisses his cheek.
Yeah, and they hold each other for a long time, and then he, like, grabs her face, and I was like, what are we doing?
I know. I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
What was the point of all of this?
I can't be arsed because no one's going to explain it to me ever. Amanda's just going to yell about it at the reunion, and no one's going to give me a straight answer.
The problem is, I think the Amanda and Ciara friendship will overshadow, like, West and Ciara's friendship, if that makes sense. It's frustrating because a lot of this season is about Ciara and West's friendship.
Yeah. And
I want to know, but he won't articulate things.
Agreed.
To be like, the fuck was this all for?
But I think also something to note, because we've seen it. We've seen a scandal and a reunion later, like, before with Vanderpump Rules. What we need is answers. As the audience, we need to hear the conversation that Wes and Amanda had for this, what was actually happening with Wes and Ciara. Like, we need those answers, but no one on the cast is going to even, like, allow them to give an answer. And then Amanda and Wes are going to get really defensive, mostly Amanda, and then just yell about nothing. Like, we are going to get zero answers on this. I'm telling everyone.
And Wes and Amanda will come in wanting to lie and give a sanitized version of the truth, because the real truth would make them look bad, and you don't want to give people more ammo to hate you, which, like, I mentally understand, but this one's, like we've said, is so hard to comprehend that I truly need answers more now than ever.
We're not going to get at the reunion, and that's why sometimes Elisa Vanderpump is kind of nice, because Lisa at the Scandival reunion was like, wait a minute. And everyone had to pause, and she asked, like, someone give me a timeline. No, everyone here is going to know the timeline except the viewers.
Listen, I hate to give this girlie credit, but Sheena Shea's vlogs gave us so much boots on the ground evidence that people went back through and were able to put together a real timeline when the season ended. We had BravoCon footage. I remember she had, like, a pool party where Sandoval, like, Ariana had to leave early and Sandoval stayed, and, like, they were getting cozy. Like, there were so many things that people were able to grasp onto and at least, like, put together a semblance of our own timeline. But we don't have that. I mean, I guess in the city, but it's not like that's 24/7 surveillance. Like, what we know is we have one scene.
And it's
but,
all
they're not gonna
edited.
be that overt.
It's all edited in a way that Sheena Shea she gave us a raw footage. You know what I mean?
Like, damn, we needed a Sheena Shea on this cast.
Oh, man. Okay, so Kyle, it's his turn, but Lindsay is like, you know what? You lost your wedding ring and you found a DJ career. Ha ha, laughs. It's a joke. Funny. Ha ha, laugh.
That man is on the fritz already. That no jokes are going to land with Kyle. I do understand that. And I get it. Feel bad for the emotional state he's currently in.
So then Jesse's like, hey, you know, like, Kyle, I heard you just signed with a new manager. Like, what's kind of on the horizon for you with that? And Amanda was really weird this whole dinner. I will say that. As someone
bitchy.
I'm not I wanted to form my own opinions. I thought she was weird this dinner because she gives this weird smile and she's like, he's going to Vegas. But it was kind of like, I want it to come across as like, I'm proud of him, but I'm also like totally throwing him under the bus so everyone can yell at him. You know what I mean? That's what it seemed like.
It felt gross because also, as much as I hate Kyle's DJ career, you going to DJ in Vegas is cool. Like, why are we making fun of that?
If you're gonna DJ
I'll make fun
somewhere,
of him for being at Shady Gators at the Lake of the Ozarks every day of the week. But like, he is making money. He has explained why he's doing this, and it makes valid sense to you and I. Yes. We're on board with him being a DJ, just not him staying out after the DJ sets.
I'm on board with him being a DJ. My thing is he needs to communicate it to his wife a lot more.
Yep.
I don't know if she understands the financial debt we're in.
Benefits.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But and that's on her a little bit.
I agree. But then also, like, yeah, maybe instead of going out after DJing, we go home. You know, like,
yeah.
Anyway.
100%. I think the whole audience's agreement on go home after your set.
For sure. So Kyle says he hasn't signed the contract yet, but he's signing with a new manager and he wants to be selective about where he's putting his energy and treat it like a career and not a hobby. And yes, he is going to Vegas. He doesn't have a residency, but he's going to work on a residency, which everyone's like, and I am in the DJ thing. That is a lot of money, a residency, and it's like constant money.
And, like, to me, that screams stability.
Yeah.
So in the off season of Summer House or in the city, let's say, him and Amanda could potentially move to Vegas for a month. He could do both of his lover boy job. He could do DJing at night. This makes sense.
It's secure money that you're guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda has known about this for a while, and Lindsay's like, okay, but did you have a conversation with her and not just, like, tell her? And Kyle's like, well, I was gonna do it, but now we're doing it at the stable.
I have a question, because we saw them have a conversation about him getting more serious and I think signing with a manager, right? Was that conversation in their kitchen?
Yes, but I don't know if he did say I want to sign with a manager and do more for the DJ.
Yeah.
I don't know if he then was like, I'm going to Vegas, or he was like, hey, I have this manager, I have this opportunity to play in Vegas. Thoughts?
I guess I don't know how you would approach that, how they want him to approach this. I understand making the decision together, but bringing the information is him just going to be like, hey, this is my plan.
I think
let's discuss.
Yeah, I would appreciate it of like, instead of being like, I'm going to Vegas to DJ, peace. I would appreciate like a, hey, I signed with this manager. This is why we need to DJ if you didn't already know.
Is the issue Vegas or is it the manager? I thought it was the manager and he hasn't signed with the manager yet.
No, I think the issue, well, I don't even know if it's Amanda's issue. It's what Lindsay's flagging. I think the issue is that Kyle made this decision that he's going to sign with a manager and go to Vegas without talking to Amanda. But I think Kyle, like, obviously Amanda knows something because she was the one that said he's going to Vegas.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like Kyle has signed anything to officially go to Vegas. So I'm wondering what the conversation was. Because if I'm Lindsay, it's coming across as he's already agreed to go to Vegas because Amanda knows he's going to Vegas.
But he hasn't agreed. But he hasn't. And he has told her.
But he will.
I don't get what the problem is.
He will agree to go to Vegas for sure.
I think he's going. And I think the decision in Kyle's mind is like, this is kind of made. We just need the final conversation. Like, I'm doing it. And I'm just going to be like, cool, I'm doing it.
Yes.
And that is the problem. But everything that, like, Lindsay is saying, I'm like, wait, that isn't what's happening. Though.
She asks him, she's like, did you have a conversation with her or did you just decide? And he's like, I was going to have a conversation. And he just said, then Kyle gets quite defensive, which I get. I get him getting defensive.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't understand why, like, something that brings me joy and happiness and pays the bills and that I'm good at is, like, an issue.
Which I get his argument there.
And I think Ciara and Lindsay are just being protective of Amanda because they're like, it's another business venture. Like, you have all this on your plate.
It's more time away from Amanda. You guys aren't in a good place.
And Lindsay says, like, yeah, you're married. Have you aligned on your future goals? Which I also think is kind of important because, like, is Amanda
100%.
going to Vegas? So, like, what's the plan, you know? Kyle says he looks up to DJs that are married with kids and their wives support them. And Lindsay's like, yeah, but they were DJing before. And also they talk to their wives about it. And Amanda's just sitting there taking the stray.
The problem is Kyle had a leg to stand on at the beginning of this conversation, but how he navigates it, I'm like,
Terrible.
You're not helping yourself.
No, when he was like, their wives support them, I was like, oh, I get it. Amanda does not support his DJ career, but
But also, we talked about it earlier in the summer. There were married DJs that go home after their set, Kyle. They handle their DJ career differently than you.
Yeah, and I do think it's hard. This has been coming up. I don't know why. Maybe it's my reality TV. But, like, people, you marry one person and then they switch or they do other things. Like, I'm marrying you because you're an entrepreneur. And then you're like, also, I'm a DJ. I'm going to be like, hold up. Give me a sec.
But you do have to, like, grow with people.
You do.
Like, it's okay for Kyle to change his mind.
Yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword where it's like, as long as we can communicate and be happy. Right, for me, I don't know what they promise in their relationship. But for me, it was be like, as long as we can communicate and, like, keep each other as priorities. I don't care if you're a clown, a DJ, a garbage, like, whatever the fuck you want to be, a subway worker, go off. But, like, the minute you don't communicate with me and you start prioritizing other things and other people before me, that's the issue. But I think the problem is, if we really think about it, Kyle hasn't really changed. He's always prioritized everyone over Amanda. She just was hoping.
That's actually so true.
She married the person she dated. She was just hoping he would change, which he wasn't
really
ever
good point,
going to.
because, like, that man was an amateur DJ at their social functions, and now he's making money off of it. So to be honest, I'm like, at least something's coming of it now.
Listen, I hate to give Kyle a leg when he didn't have one, but
this was just like a difficult conversation because I think a lot of people are being on Team Kyle in a general sense because of the scandal. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no. But in this conversation, I'm like, there are some things where, like, we're really attacking him, but, like, he is paying the bills. Like, what do you want this man to do?
Here's the thing. If he just kept his head on his shoulders, 100%. It's now when then, and I hate it, but I love it because it's hilarious to watch. I love when a man then goes, because this is what Kyle says, I don't understand why my love for music and playing music for other people is the butt of the joke every summer. Like, you're not the victim all of a sudden.
It's that. All of a sudden. He's conflating this as like a marriage and business conversation into who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And Kyle, you lost me.
Right there.
You lost me.
And also, being a 40-something-year-old DJ is kind of a joke. You gotta see the humor in it.
You gotta laugh at yourself.
Like,
because I'm gonna laugh at you.
You gotta laugh a little bit. That it's a little funny.
You know what? Kyle is now being the Debbie Downer.
Like, it's the same way when, like, we made a podcast and my parents were like, what the fuck are you? I get it.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
Everybody makes fun of me. And to the point where I make fun of myself, though, too. We get in an Uber and people goes, who's getting on the aux? And I say, play my podcast. Like, it's a joke constantly.
Hilarious. Of course. That's funny. Kyle needs to start doing that. But Lindsay says it's not a joke, but you're in this partnership being a team, and that's why Amanda at the reunion said she would be ready to have a family with someone who's ready to have a family with her. And then Lindsay tells Kyle, like, you're not showing those traits because you're showing her DJing is more important than having a family. And Kyle's like, no, Amanda's also not ready for a kid. I'm like...
I was like, you've completely lost this now.
Because then everyone's like, forget the kids then. Take that out of the argument. But Kyle says, God forbid he do something to enjoy because the past 7 years have been all work and no joy.
I hate when he plays martyr about him building Loverboy. It pisses me off. You didn't get just, like, handed this business on, like, your dad's deathbed and now you have to hold up this legacy. You chose this. You chose to start this business. You were so excited about it. You chose to continue to build it. You chose to inject $500,000 of your money to keep it going.
Hey, I get it. You've been miserable for 7 years. play a little music. That's fine. No one's after you for playing music. It's that you play music and then you like still don't
Ignore
give a shit
your
about
wife.
your marriage. Yeah. So Kyle feels under attack and everyone's like, no, it's not an attack. And so Ben's like, hey, you know, with a manager, you might be able to help like streamline your business. And
I thought this was gonna like make it better.
He was trying to explain it, and then Kyle looks Amanda dead in the face and goes, fuck you.
I was like, what?
And that activates Lindsay, Ciara, and West at the other end of the table, who could have just left unscathed, but now he's in, and he picks up his chair and brings it right behind Amanda and puts her hand on her back, and it's like, oh.
I hated that. Like, because the last time this stuff happened, Wes went directly to Kyle. So I kind of expected Wes to sit next to Kyle and go, look at me. Like, talk to me and let's settle this. Him sitting next to Amanda was weird.
But that also, if I'm Kyle, and I don't know about the scandal or anything yet, someone gets up and sits behind Amanda, you're backing her, I'm super under attack now.
Very good point.
You don't give a shit. I got Lindsay from my left, Ciara my right, and Amanda I'm looking dead center to, and now you're there too to protect her? I don't think so.
Amanda is making faces. Like, she's not neutral.
No, she is laughing at his face.
Yeah. She is riling him up.
She is.
Which, it's not cool to antagonize him. We know Kyle's a hothead, and that doesn't, like, make it okay that he does these things, but you are not helping this in any capacity.
No. And I did think her faces were weird. They weren't very Amanda. Does that make sense?
No.
They weren't Amanda.
It was super weird. I've never seen her like this.
I know.
I've seen, like, a full, like, capture of all of her faces, and I'm like, what are you trying to do?
Usually she's embarrassed.
Anger him.
Usually she's embarrassed, and she wants to be like, let's just shut this down. She was looking at him as he's getting yelled at from all ends, and she's like, yep, I run this house. Which is telling me she had already had the divorce file. Her dad was getting the paperwork finalized, for sure.
And Kyle knows one conversation is happening behind his back about a separation. This would make me feel insecure that all these conversations are happening behind my back, and everybody is here to have
Amanda.
A sit down, about, like, let's get Amanda out of this marriage, and, like, Kyle's 100% at fault, and, like, I would feel very defensive at this dinner.
I get why he's defensive. He doesn't play it correctly.
No.
But I get it.
It's okay for him to be upset and to be defensive. What he does next and him saying fuck you to Amanda,
that was crazy.
Is not okay.
Okay, so then Lindsay's like, in a partnership? She's trying to explain to him. And he goes, we don't have one of those. And I was like...
Which...
Yeah, you know?
And so you're not wrong.
That's when Amanda says this is not a table conversation. And Kyle has a temper tantrum. He stands up. He's yelling about something. Carl then stands up and is like, hey, chill the fuck out, dude. And Kyle's like, no. And he goes outside and starts yelling about stuff. And Carl follows him to be like, hey, chill the fuck out, dude.
I was like, wait, that's how this starts? Is like Kyle just goes off on his own?
Well, I was like,
what?
I love how Carl didn't like get all up in arms when he said fuck you to Amanda. But like the minute Kyle stands up and is like, this is stupid, everyone's against me, Carl's like, that's too far. Stop it. And then
he goes outside alone and we're gonna follow it?
Let Kyle go outside.
I really thought that like
it was about Loverboy or some shit, or like Soft Bar.
That it was like they were coming home for a club or something. Like they were already outside, but like Kyle's safe space is to go cry in the front. He wants to be alone, and like I'm kind of confused at why we're following
Freedom dinner. Let him be free and go outside. You know what I mean?
Let him be free.
No, but
this is not what I thought was going to happen whenever we had that in the preview.
I literally was like, why is Carl following him? Because Kyle removes himself and Carl is like, hey man, chill out. Don't have a meltdown. Like, just let him have his fucking 40-year-old meltdown and be...
Yeah.
So Carl follows him and Kyle's like, leave me alone. And he throws this drink towards... I don't think it hits Carl,
not
but
good.
Yeah, that's not good. It sprays Carl for sure. And then he says, fuck you, Carl. And Carl's like, fuck me? Fuck you then, loser. And I was cracking up because I love loser. I think that's the funniest insult you can give someone. I've been in trouble for it.
Flabbergasted that this is what was going on and how this happened. And I was like, wait, what?
I think it also got escalated when all the boys like run outside. Because I was like, these two aren't gonna hurt each other. Right?
I think Kyle feels very
trapped.
Ganged
He's
up
like
on,
trapped.
and it's like 4v1 and like, yeah, you're right. So when people descend on him, he's like, are you kidding me? Out here too, I'm trying to get away from this.
In a way, like a child, when a child is acting up, have them remove themselves. That's why timeout exists. Remove yourself from the situation. That's what he was doing. And then he's still antagonized. And I think it maybe could have died with fuck you then loser. But then all the boys coming out being like, what's going, stay back. I think that's what also like gets the adrenaline.
And I think once you get like, hold me back, you're going to fight harder to prove that you're a man and you're ready to fight someone.
Yeah.
But like if nobody was holding you back, he's not going to fight.
Once you feel someone be like, no, you don't want to be like, I wasn't gonna, you have to be like, no, hold me back. But fuck you then loser, that is hilarious. Fuck you then loser.
I hate both Amanda and Kyle.
Same.
I think they are miserable because Amanda did ignore Kyle too in the bedroom. Like she's out of this marriage. And I get it. I get it. You are rightfully out of this marriage. But leave the marriage then.
Yeah. At least when Katie Holmes did it, Tom Cruise was shooting a movie. He came back to that bullshit. Yeah,
she wasn't living with him.
Yeah, wild.
Ignoring him. Like, I don't think that you're great for that. I'm not... I hope that the alternative universe Meredith who's watching this season and Amanda and Wes never got together still has this opinion and it's not just, like, clouded by Amanda sucking.
I agree.
Like,
I think you would... Because I have that opinion, and I really am not, like, watching this with, like, Wes and Amanda in mind. Like, and I truly mean that. Like, I don't really... Yeah. I told you at the beginning, I don't really care about this scandal anymore.
I hate both parties in this marriage. Yeah. And I'm like, I need it to end, and I need this off my screen. It's ruining my summer.
The way you said they're both miserable, 1,000%. 1,000%.
They're trying to out miserable the other one to be like, see, I'm the victim in this marriage. She doesn't help me pay for bills, and I have to work all day. And she's like, he keeps calling me a bitch, and it's like, you both suck.
You know who's the real victim? Us, who have had to watch this for 10 fucking years and made zero money off of it.
Agree.
We've made zero money. Because at least the people in the house, they get paid. I have to watch this. I watch this because I want to. Are you fucking kidding me? You've ruined one of my favorite shows every time.
Crazy is like, all right, we get paid pennies to do this. Fine, we're even making money. The normal viewers, nothing.
No, it's the same because then we have to spend hours fucking talking about it.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, we are a half step ahead of other people because it's giving us content to watch this fucking show, but like it's miserable for everybody. Why are we all in this marriage with you unhappy?
We're inflicting this pain upon ourselves. We could just not watch this show, but I can't do that.
When people stay together for the kids, don't stay together for the show. Let us all be free. It's freedom dinner. Let us all be free of this toxic marriage.
We're the kids. We're just like caught up in this and it's just as miserable for us. We have to do therapy because of your marriage. And I don't even know you. Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
That's the thing. This show hits me harder. We said we love it so much and it feels like our life. And I think that's that's the low part of us loving this show so much.
When our therapists are like, why are you guys afraid of commitment? And I'm like, because my husband might become a DJ after 10 years and still not love me. And she's like, where'd we get that? Yeah, this show. Great. Okay, but we get a to be continued. I bet nothing happens, but didn't I call it? Didn't I call it last episode?
I thought about it immediately. Also, the fact that this weekend's about to be 3 full fucking episodes is crazy.
What did I say, Meredith? I said they're going to stop it right when the fight starts. Oh, next episode. Okay. Fun, not fun. It's even numbers. That means it's my turn. My not fun is Kyle, because, oh my God. And can you pick the other one?
I'm going Kyle too. I'm sorry. Okay. He doesn't get off the hook for this.
I was going to do
I just double picked him for fun, and he was fun.
Yeah.
Now you're not.
Yeah, I know. He was fucking miserable. Okay, for fun, I'm doing Lindsay. Happy freedom dinner, girl. No, that was fun. She was vulnerable about Sharon. She's having fun with Carl.
Yeah.
I love Lindsay and Carl in this state. Like, they are my favorite duo. I find them hysterical.
Okay, I know you've been offline, so I have to tell you then, with this being your fun, is Michael Rappaport annoying ass person that he is, got online and said that Lindsay is overrated. And it's like, no, she's not. Look at what she makes happen. The magic that happens when she's on an episode. We don't get her every week. She comes in every time and just immediately stirs shit up in a great way.
Where do I find him? I'm about to literally start internet beef with this man. Where do I find him?
Do it.
Where do I find him? Was it on TikTok?
Yeah. No, it was on his Instagram stories, but it is everywhere now. So you can go off on every corner of the internet.
Michael Rappaport, go choke on the food you shovel into your mouth. Honestly, be done. Be gone. Oh, yeah. Disgusting.
And Lindsay got on and said, say it with your chest and turn your comments on, bitch.
Oh, what a fucking loser. Fuck you then, loser. Yeah. Oh
my God. Okay, so my fun is Ciara.
Yeah.
I mean, who can't love an episode with Ciara in a costume, in a water gun fight? Like we said at the beginning of the season when Bailey and Levi did their little stunt. Like, this is what I want from the show. These cute moments.
That was a lot of fun. Yes. And Lindsay going, what is it, a bun? I never laughed. Lindsay's my favorite. Fuck Michael Rappaport. Oh, I'm about to.
Sorry to anger
him
you.
And Nick Viall. White men with stupid haircuts. I can't anymore.
I just think they're God's gift to the earth, and I'm over it.
God, keep shoveling. Like I said, choke on that food you shovel in your mouth. I'm so done. Anyway, okay, well, do all the things. We'll be back next week for the part 2 of this same weekend, even though it's already Saturday, and then we'll have part 3 of what I assume is also Saturday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, and with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.